What's up, everybody? Seether here, King Arthur Legends Rise. We are going to talk about skill checks. So, how does the game determine whether or not your skill lands? Not damage, right? Skills. So, dots, damage over time, debuffs, abnormal status effects like freeze. How do you know? How do you know? How do you determine? How does the game determine if this stuff lands or if it's resisted, etc.? So let's jump into it. So we're going to start with Gwen. I'm just going to use her as my example. I have a maxed out S1 here, and maxed out S1 gives a 70% chance to remove all buffs. Okay, the chance to blank is step one of the game's skill check. So every skill will list the chance to apply. Chance to apply. So there is in this case, 30% chance that nothing happens at all. No part two of the skill check, which we'll get into in a second. Just 30% chance that nothing happens at all. Okay. If the 70% chance RNG passes, right, then it moves into step two. Step two of the skill check is essentially your effect accuracy versus enemy effect resistance. Okay. Effect accuracy, your effect accuracy versus enemy effect resistance. Okay. We don't know the exact formula. Through a bunch of testing, it's pretty safe to assume that you can get by in most cases with around like 60%. Going above 60, may help, but you're going to get diminishing returns, not only in what seems to be the chance of success, but you're going to probably sacrifice like much needed stats in other areas. Okay. So anyway, so that's step two. So effect accuracy versus enemy effect resistance. So what does that look like? So show you an example here. Here, Gwen's just going to use her S1, and it's going to work. Okay, pop, 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 boom, bubble pops, right? So one more time, just standard S1, attack the pig, 3 hits, and it pops. Okay, so that's plain and simple, all there is to it. It worked. Happy day. Like both phases were successful, right? The 70% chance like rolled positive, right? So it was a chance to apply, and then the effect accuracy won against the roll of the enemy effect resistance. Okay, here's the flip. This is an example of when it will not work. Okay, so 3 hit, pop, 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 nothing happens. Okay, so just one more time here. Um, Oh, it's going to start over. Okay, well, pop, 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 and nothing at all happens. No resist wording. Okay, nothing like that. Part one didn't roll. Okay, that 70% chance to apply did not roll, so there wasn't even like a resistance check. It just didn't happen. Okay. Third example, we're going to use Merlin, and I'll show you why in a second because his S2 has a 100% chance to apply. So it's going to at least try. Step one's always going to happen. Okay, so here's Merlin. He's going to do his S2 against the Tiger. It's going to do its multi-hit, and then a resistance message is going to pop up. Okay, now I'm going to slow it down, watch it again. You might have to zoom in a little bit to really see it, but here we go. It's going to do its 4-hit attack, and then boom, I'm going to pause it right there. So I drew a little circle around it too. So you see that resistance wording? Resistance against frozen remains. So that means that part one of the skill check passed. Again, Merlin's 100% chance to apply, so it's always going to pass step one. So it passed the chance to apply. Then it moved into phase two, which is the resistance check. In this case, the roll of my effect accuracy versus Tiger's effect resistance, like Tiger won. Okay, Tiger won that roll. So you get the resistance message. All right, so that is how you tell the difference between the three forms of skill check in this game. So just going to Merlin again real quick here, relics. Just here's what I was talking about here, the 100% chance to apply. So Merlin with his S2, it's always going to pass that first skill check. So it'll exclusively drop into the effect accuracy versus effect resistance. The only exception, maybe not the only exception, but certainly the only one that I think is relevant in most cases or discussions is Akalon. His second passive, if maxed out, I don't use Akalon, I don't have it maxed out, but if it's maxed out with this additional 20% disruption rate, it would be a 100% chance to apply resistance proof recovery disruption if the target has defense decrease. So if the target has defense down or defense decrease, and this passive is off of cooldown, it will be a guaranteed, again, if maxed, it will be a guaranteed 100% chance to apply a resistance proof recovery disruption. I think this is the only hero in the game that does this. There might be like, an obscure hero that does it too. But anyway, that would be like the rare exception to where, again, phase two doesn't apply. But again, this would only be if maxed out and the target has defense down. This is like a bear Aldry. This is a bear mechanic here, using another hero that applies defense down with Akalon is meant to give you a better success rate in recovery disruption. But you can make the argument that Argus is just as good if you build him up as an uncommon. He's easier to build up, etc. We're getting off topic, but there you go. Quick and easy. Just wanted to explain the ins and outs of the skill checks applying to this game. Peace out. I'll catch you later.